close your eyes. Tonight, you are walking the quiet streets of ancient Rome at dawn. The air is cool, the marble is still. We are going to follow one single citizen through an entire day, from the first light on the Forum to the last candle in his home. Breathe slowly. The story is long. There is time. Welcome. Tonight you are gently leaving behind everything that feels close and immediate, and stepping into something distant, something slower, something softer. You are not in a place of urgency anymore. You are not surrounded by noise or pressure or expectation. Instead, you are somewhere quiet, somewhere calm, somewhere far away in time. You are in ancient Rome, but not the Rome of crowds and shouting voices, not the Rome of politics or power, but a quieter Rome, a softer Rome, a Rome that exists before the day begins. Take a slow breath in, very slowly, and feel your chest rise gently. Hold it there for just a moment, and then release it softly, without effort. Again, inhale slowly, cool air entering your body, filling your lungs, and exhale, warm air leaving, taking with it any tension you might still be holding. Let your shoulders drop, let your face soften, let your body feel heavy, supported, at ease. There is nothing you need to do, nothing you need to solve, nothing waiting for you. Only this moment, only your breath, only the quiet. In the distance, very faintly, you begin to hear the first birds. Soft calls, gentle and spaced apart, like tiny signals in the darkness. The air around you is cool, fresh, untouched by the warmth of the coming day. You are safe here. You are calm. And slowly, you begin to drift into another time. As the sound becomes clearer, another change begins to accompany it, this time carried through the air rather than through sound. A faint scent reaches you, warm and soft, blending gently with the coolness of the morning air. It is the smell of bread, fresh and slightly sweet, with an earthy depth that feels grounding and familiar. At first, it is barely noticeable, but as you continue walking, it becomes more distinct, more present, gradually shaping the atmosphere around you. The combination of cool air and warm scent creates a balance that feels natural and complete, neither overwhelming nor faint, but simply existing in harmony. The street narrows slightly as you move forward, the buildings drawing closer together, creating a more enclosed space that feels quieter, more contained. The sound you noticed earlier becomes more defined now, revealing itself as the steady movement of hands working against a surface, a soft, repetitive action that continues without pause. Ahead, a faint glow appears, subtle and warm, contrasting with the dim blue-grey of the surrounding environment. It does not illuminate the street fully, but it creates a small point of focus, drawing the eye without demanding attention. As you approach, the source becomes clear. A small bakery stands open, its entrance unobstructed, allowing the warm light from inside to spill gently outward. The glow is not bright or harsh. It flickers softly, shaped by the movement of a low fire burning within. Inside, a figure stands at a wooden table, engaged in steady, deliberate work. His hands move continuously, pressing dough, folding it, turning it, and pressing again in a consistent, unbroken rhythm. Each movement flows into the next without interruption, forming a cycle that repeats endlessly, not out of urgency, but out of familiarity and purpose. The space inside the bakery is quiet, filled with the soft sounds of the process, the gentle impact of dough against wood, the faint crackle of firewood, the subtle shift of air as heat rises and disperses. Flower dust lingers in the air, visible in the glow of the firelight, drifting slowly and settling gradually, adding a sense of softness to the scene. The warmth from inside extends outward, meeting the cool air of the street and blending with it, creating a gentle transition between the two environments. You continue forward along the stone path, your steps maintaining the same steady rhythm, neither accelerating nor slowing, as though your movement has aligned itself completely with the quiet pace of the city at this hour. The street ahead stretches gently into the distance, its surface uneven in subtle ways that speak of time and wear, yet consistent enough that your footing remains effortless, requiring no conscious adjustment. The buildings on either side remain tall and close, their upper edges barely distinguishable against the gradually lightening sky, forming a corridor of shadow and muted color that guides your path forward without ever confining it. As you walk, the faint sounds of the waking city begin to layer themselves into the stillness, not in a sudden or overwhelming way, but gradually, almost imperceptibly, as though each new sound is being introduced with care, so as not to disturb the balance that still holds the moment together. Somewhere far behind you, a door opens and closes, the sound softened by distance until it becomes little more than a gentle shift in the air. From another direction, you hear the quiet scrape of something being moved, perhaps wood against stone, steady and unhurried, blending into the subtle rhythm that now begins to define the early morning. You continue forward along the stone path, your steps maintaining the same steady rhythm, neither accelerating nor slowing, as though your movement has aligned itself completely with the quiet pace of the city at this hour. The street ahead stretches gently into the distance, its surface uneven in subtle ways that speak of time and wear, yet consistent enough that your footing remains effortless, requiring no conscious adjustment. The buildings on either side remain tall and close, their upper edges barely distinguishable against the gradually lightening sky, forming a corridor of shadow and muted color that guides your path forward without ever confining it. As you walk, the faint sounds of the waking city begin to layer themselves into the stillness, not in a sudden or overwhelming way, but gradually, almost imperceptibly, as though each new sound is being introduced with care so as not to disturb the balance that still holds the moment together. Somewhere far behind you, a door opens and closes, the sound softened by distance until it becomes little more than a gentle shift in the air. From another direction, you hear the quiet scrape of something being moved, perhaps wood against stone, steady and unhurried, blending into the subtle rhythm that now begins to define the early morning. The air itself seems to carry these changes, holding them lightly, never allowing any single element to dominate. It remains cool, though not as deeply so as before, and there is a slight softness beginning to emerge, a suggestion of warmth that has not yet fully arrived, but is present enough to be noticed. This gradual transition mirrors the sky above, where the grey has begun to take on faint variations, hints of pale colour spreading slowly, unevenly, as though the light is testing its presence before committing to it fully. You pass another narrow opening between buildings, a small alley that leads into darkness, its interior still untouched by the growing light. For a moment, you glance toward it, noticing the deeper shadows that remain there, the stillness that has not yet begun to shift. It feels separate from the street you are on, as though it belongs to a slightly different time, one that lingers just a little longer in the quiet of night. Then, without pausing, you continue forward, leaving it behind as your path remains gently illuminated by the gradual change in the sky. Ahead, the street begins to widen slightly, the building stepping back just enough to allow more of the sky to be seen above. With this change, the light becomes more noticeable, not stronger, but more present, spreading across surfaces with a soft consistency that reveals details previously hidden in shadow. The texture of the stone beneath your feet becomes clearer, the edges of doorways more defined, the subtle variations in the walls more visible. Nothing is revealed abruptly. Everything emerges slowly, maintaining the calm continuity that defines the moment. A figure stands at the edge of the widening space, partially turned away, engaged in a simple task. As you approach, you see that he is adjusting a small arrangement near the entrance of a shop, placing items carefully, moving them slightly, then pausing to observe before making another small adjustment. His movements are deliberate, unhurried, reflecting the same rhythm you have observed elsewhere, a rhythm that does not seek efficiency or speed, but instead follows a natural pace that feels complete in itself. He does not look up as you pass, nor does he need to. His attention remains entirely on what he is doing, and the moment remains undisturbed by your presence. The street continues beyond him, extending into another gentle curve that guides your movement without requiring decision. You follow it naturally, your pace unchanged, your awareness expanding gradually, to take in the subtle details that continue to reveal themselves. The air carries a faint mixture of scents now, not as distinct as the bread from before, but a blending of elements that suggests life beginning to stir more fully. Wood, stone, a hint of smoke somewhere distant, all woven together into a quiet, unobtrusive presence. Above you, another window opens, this time more slowly, the sound of its movement slightly more pronounced, though still soft. A figure appears briefly, looking outward, taking in the early light, then withdrawing again without action. The window remains open, and through it, you sense the beginning of activity within, subtle and contained, a private continuation of the larger rhythm unfolding throughout the city. You continue walking, and with each step, the sense of transition becomes more apparent, though never abrupt. The sky now carries a faint brightness along the horizon, a pale, diffused glow that spreads gradually upward, softening the remaining darkness. The stars have nearly disappeared, leaving behind a wide open expanse that feels calmer, simpler, more grounded. The balance between night and day shifts gently, with no clear boundary marking the change, only a continuous blending that feels natural and unforced. The sounds around you continue to grow, but always within the same restrained tone. Footsteps become more frequent, though still spaced apart, each one distinct yet harmonious within the overall quiet. Voices begin to appear, low and brief, exchanges that carry no urgency, no intensity, simply small acknowledgements between individuals as they begin their day. These sounds do not break the stillness. They reshape it, adding layers that deepen rather than disrupt the calm. As you move further along, you notice a small cart positioned near the side of the street, its contents covered, its presence quiet and still. A man stands beside it, adjusting a cloth that drapes over the top, smoothing it carefully, ensuring it rests evenly. His movements are slow, methodical, and once again, there is no sense of haste, no indication that time is pressing upon him. Instead, there is only the steady continuation of simple tasks, each one performed with attention and without distraction. The light continues to build, though still gently, revealing more of the street ahead, more of the subtle textures that define the space. The walls show variations in color and wear. The stones beneath your feet reflect a soft sheen, where they have been smoothed over time, and the air itself feels slightly more open, as though it is expanding along with the light. Choosing without thought, you continue forward, allowing the natural flow of your movement to guide you. The city continues to reveal itself in small, consistent ways, each detail adding to the overall sense of calm continuity. The early hour remains intact, even as it shifts, even as it grows, never losing the quiet foundation upon which it rests. And as you move deeper into this unfolding morning, you remain aligned with it, your pace steady, your awareness open, your presence fully within the moment that continues to stretch forward, unbroken and serene. You continue forward, your pace steady, your awareness open, moving through a city that is no longer asleep, yet not fully awake, existing in a state of quiet transition that feels complete in itself. And as you walk, you remain part of that transition, aligned with its rhythm, carried forward by a moment that continues to unfold without interruption, without urgency, and without end. As you move further along the gently rising street, the light strengthens just enough to settle fully across the surfaces around you. No longer tentative, no longer testing its presence, but quietly establishing itself as the new constant. The sky above now holds a soft and even brightness, the last traces of night dissolving completely into a pale and steady glow that stretches uninterrupted from one horizon to the other. The air reflects this change, no longer carrying the deeper coolness of pre-dawn, but instead holding a balanced stillness that feels settled, grounded, and quietly alive. The city responds in kind, though not with sudden motion, not with a burst of activity, but with a gradual deepening of what has already begun. Footsteps become more frequent, though still measured. Voices appear more often, though still soft, still controlled, never rising beyond the calm tone that defines the hour. Doors open with greater regularity, the sounds of preparation extending outward into the street, weaving together into a continuous, understated rhythm that signals the beginning of the day without ever announcing it. You pass another doorway, then another, each one now more clearly connected to the life within. The boundary between interior and exterior softened by light and sound. Movement inside these spaces is no longer hidden or distant. It is present, visible, yet still contained, still gentle, as though each household is waking in its own time, following its own quiet pattern. The street becomes a shared space, not only of passage, but of gradual emergence, where individual moments begin to align into something larger, something collective. Ahead, the street levels out once more, opening into a slightly broader stretch, where the sky feels wider and the light more evenly distributed. The shadows that once defined the edges of the path have softened to the point of near disappearance, leaving behind a clarity that feels calm rather than sharp. Nothing feels abrupt, nothing feels forced. The transformation has been so gradual, so continuous, that it now feels as though it has always been this way. You slow slightly, not out of necessity, but out of awareness. There is a quiet sense that something has shifted fully, that the space you have been moving through has reached its natural conclusion. The stillness of pre-dawn has not vanished, but it has changed form, becoming something lighter, more open, more connected to the activity that is now beginning to take shape. The distant sounds that once felt separate now feel closer, more integrated. The subtle exchanges of voices, the quiet preparation of work, the steady movement of individuals along the street, all of it begins to form a gentle pattern that carries forward, no longer isolated moments, but part of a continuous flow. The city is no longer in between states. It is becoming something new. You pause for a moment, not stopping completely, but allowing your pace to soften just enough to take in the space around you. The air feels different now. The light rests fully across the stone. The streets no longer hold the quiet emptiness of night, but the early presence of day. It is subtle, but complete. And within that realization, you understand that the moment you have been walking through, the still suspended calm of pre-dawn, has gently come to an end. Not suddenly, not abruptly, but naturally. As all things do, you take another step forward, and with it, the feeling shifts. The city ahead is no longer emerging, it is beginning. The rhythm is changing, becoming slightly more defined, slightly more active, though still calm, still measured, still steady. And as you continue walking, you move seamlessly into this next part of the day, where quiet observation gives way to gentle interaction, where stillness becomes soft movement, and where the calm of early morning begins to unfold into the life of Rome itself. The pre-dawn has passed. Morning has begun. You continue along the gently widening street, your movement remaining consistent, neither quickening nor slowing, as though your pace has become entirely synchronized with the gradual unfolding of the city around you. The light now carries a slightly greater presence, though still diffused and soft, spreading evenly across surfaces without creating sharp contrasts or harsh edges. It reveals the subtle variations in the stone beneath your feet, the faint lines and worn textures that tell of years of quiet use, each mark existing not as damage, but as a continuation of time itself. The buildings ahead appear more clearly now, their forms no longer defined only by shadow, but by a muted palette of color that emerges gradually as the light settles upon them. Pale tones of stone and plaster begin to show, softened by the early hour, giving the entire street a unified calmness that feels almost deliberate, as though nothing exists here by accident. Windows that once appeared as dark openings now hold a faint reflection of the brightening sky, creating small points of subtle contrast that shift as you move past them. A gentle breeze passes through the street, barely noticeable at first, yet present enough to alter the air around you. It carries with it a blend of faint scents, stone warmed just slightly by the growing light, traces of smoke from distant fires, and something else less distinct, something that suggests the quiet preparation of the day ahead. The breeze does not linger. It moves through and continues on, leaving the air calm once more, though subtly changed. You pass a narrow side street that branches off to your right, its interior still holding more shadow than the path you are on, yet not as deeply as before. The light reaches into it just enough to soften its darkness, revealing a continuation of the same quiet architecture, the same steady stillness. There is no movement there, no sound, only the lingering calm of a space that has not yet fully joined the waking city. You glance briefly, then continue forward, your path remaining steady and uninterrupted. Further along, you notice a figure seated near the edge of a doorway, partially in shadow, partially touched by the growing light. He appears to be engaged in a simple task, perhaps repairing or preparing something small, his hands moving slowly, deliberately, with a level of focus that excludes everything else. His posture is relaxed, his movements controlled, reflecting the same unhurried rhythm you have observed throughout your walk. He does not look up as you pass, nor does he need to. His presence is part of the environment, as natural and unintrusive as the buildings themselves. The street continues to open gradually, allowing more of the sky to be seen above. The horizon now holds a clearer glow, a pale, expanding light that begins to define the boundary between earth and sky more distinctly. The grey that once dominated has softened making space for hints of warmer tones that remain subtle but undeniable. The transition continues without interruption, each moment blending seamlessly into the next. You become aware of more footsteps now, though still scattered and distant, each one distinct yet never overlapping in a way that disrupts the calm. Individuals move through the streets with the same steady pace, their presence adding to the quiet sense of life returning without ever overwhelming it. There is no crowd, no gathering, only a gradual increase in movement that remains evenly spaced, preserving the balance that defines this hour. A faint metallic sound reaches you from somewhere ahead, a soft tapping or adjustment repeated occasionally rather than continuously. As you draw closer, you see its source. A man standing beside a small arrangement of tools, adjusting one of them with careful precision. The sound is gentle, controlled, never sharp, blending into the surrounding atmosphere as though it belongs there naturally. His actions are slow, measured, each movement followed by a brief pause, as though he is allowing the moment to settle before continuing. You pass him quietly, the sound fading behind you as your attention returns to the broader environment. The light continues to grow, though still without intensity, maintaining its soft, even presence. The buildings now appear fully formed, their surfaces visible, their details clear, yet still unified by the gentle tone of the morning. There are no harsh contrasts, no deep shadows, only a consistent, calming clarity that extends in all directions. The air carries more subtle changes now, a slight warmth that continues to develop, though it remains balanced by the lingering coolness of the night. This combination creates a sense of comfort that feels natural, neither too warm nor too cool, but simply present in a way that supports the stillness of the moment. Morning has begun, though it does not arrive with any sudden declaration. No clear boundary marking its entrance, only a quiet shift that settles across the city, as light fully takes its place where darkness once lingered. The streets that only moments ago held the softness of transition now carry a more defined clarity, revealing their full form without losing the calm that has shaped every moment before. The sky above is no longer uncertain. It stretches wide and pale, holding a steady brightness that rests gently over everything below, illuminating without overwhelming, guiding the city forward without urging it to hurry. You continue walking, your pace unchanged, though the world around you has begun to take on a different presence, one that feels more awake, more active, yet still grounded in the same measured rhythm that has carried you this far. The street ahead extends with quiet purpose, its surface now fully visible, its worn textures clear beneath the growing light. The buildings on either side no longer stand as silhouettes, but as solid forms, their details revealed in muted tones that feel softened rather than sharpened by the early hour. Doors open more frequently now, each one releasing a small extension of life into the street. A man steps out carrying a simple bundle, adjusting it in his hands before setting it down just outside the entrance. He pauses briefly, looking at it, then makes a small adjustment, shifting its position slightly, ensuring it rests as intended. There is no haste in his movement, no urgency in his expression. He completes the action, then remains still for a moment, as though allowing the space to settle around what he has done before turning back inside. You pass by without interruption, your presence neither noticed nor required, and continue along the path as more such moments unfold around you. Another doorway opens, this time revealing a narrow interior where movement is already underway. A figure moves within, placing items along the surface, aligning them carefully, stepping back, then returning to adjust them again. The repetition is quiet, deliberate, forming its own rhythm that blends seamlessly with the broader movement of the city. The sounds of morning gather slowly, layering themselves into the environment without ever rising above it. Footsteps become more frequent, though still evenly spaced, each one distinct yet never disruptive. Voices appear in brief exchanges, greetings spoken in low tones, words carried just far enough to be heard before dissolving into the background. Nothing feels crowded, nothing feels rushed. Instead, there is a sense of quiet coordination, as though each person moves independently, yet remains aligned with the same unspoken pace. As you continue walking, the street begins to open into a wider space, revealing more of the city beyond. The buildings step back slightly, allowing light to spread more fully across the ground, creating a soft brightness that feels consistent and calm. The air carries a subtle warmth now, more noticeable than before, though still balanced by the lingering coolness of the earlier hour. This balance creates a sense of comfort that requires no adjustment, no awareness beyond simple presence. Ahead, a small group gathers near the entrance of a larger house, their posture relaxed, their presence quiet. They stand without speaking much, occasionally shifting their weight, glancing toward the doorway as though waiting for something expected but not urgent. Their stillness is not empty. It carries a sense of routine, of familiarity, as though this moment has been repeated many times before and will continue to be repeated again. The door opens, and one by one they step forward, entering without hesitation, without disorder, each movement calm and measured. There is no rush to be first, no delay in being last. The flow remains steady, uninterrupted, forming a quiet sequence that reflects the same rhythm found throughout the city. You continue walking, leaving them behind as the space opens further, revealing more activity ahead. Merchants begin to arrange their goods along the edges of the street, placing items carefully in rows or small groupings, adjusting them until they appear balanced. A basket is set down, its contents checked briefly, then covered lightly. A piece of cloth is unfolded and smoothed across a surface, its edges aligned with care. Each action is simple, repeated, and unhurried, contributing to a growing sense of preparation that spreads gradually through the space. You move past these early arrangements, your pace steady, your awareness open, taking in each detail without lingering. The street continues forward, leading you toward a larger gathering space where the city begins to feel more connected, more unified in its movement. The transition is gradual, just as everything else has been, unfolding without any clear point of change, only a continuous expansion of activity that remains grounded in calm. The light now rests fully across the surfaces around you, revealing everything clearly yet gently, without sharp contrast or harsh edges. The sky above remains pale and steady, holding its brightness without variation, providing a constant backdrop to the unfolding morning. The air continues to warm slightly, though it remains soft, balanced, and comfortable. As you walk, you become aware that the city is no longer emerging from stillness, but moving within its day, though still at its earlier stage. The quiet preparation you have observed begins to connect into a broader pattern, each individual action contributing to a larger flow that carries the city forward, without disrupting the calm foundation that remains beneath it. You pass another intersection, this one more active than the previous, with individuals crossing paths, adjusting their direction slightly, continuing without pause. There is no congestion, no confusion, only a natural flow that allows movement to occur smoothly, without interruption. Each person seems aware of the space around them, adjusting subtly without needing to stop or acknowledge. The rhythm of the city continues to build, though always gently, never exceeding the quiet tone that defines the hour. And as you move deeper into this unfolding morning, you remain part of that rhythm, your steps aligned with it, your presence carried forward by a continuity that feels steady, balanced, and quietly endless. You continue forward, your steps remaining steady and unbroken, as the wider street gradually reveals more of the life now unfolding within it, not in sudden bursts, but in a quiet expansion that feels measured and natural. The light has settled fully across the city, no longer tentative, no longer shifting between tones, but resting evenly upon stone, wood, and open space, giving everything a clarity that remains soft rather than sharp. The sky above stretches pale and calm, without intensity, without contrast, simply present as a steady backdrop that allows every detail below to emerge gently into view. The street ahead becomes more active, though still far from crowded, its movement defined by individuals who pass through at a pace that mirrors your own, neither hurried nor slow, but consistent and grounded. A man walks beside you for a short distance, his steps matching the rhythm of yours without intention, carrying a small bundle tucked under one arm. He looks ahead, not scanning the space, not searching, but simply moving forward with quiet purpose. After a few moments, his path shifts slightly, and he continues on in a different direction, the brief alignment dissolving as naturally as it formed. Along the edge of the street, more merchants begin to establish their places, though the process remains subdued, each action unfolding with care rather than urgency. A wooden table is adjusted, its legs repositioned slightly to sit evenly against the uneven stone. A cloth is laid across its surface, smoothed carefully from one end to the other, the edges aligned with deliberate precision. Items are placed one by one. Small containers, folded materials, simple goods arranged not for display in a dramatic sense, but for quiet readiness, as though each object is simply taking its place within a routine that requires no announcement. You pass by these preparations, noticing how each person moves within their own small space, yet remains part of a larger pattern that continues to take shape. There is no competition for attention, no attempt to draw focus. Everything exists within a shared understanding of pace and presence. The sounds that accompany these actions remain soft. The faint contact of wood against stone, the gentle rustle of fabric, the occasional low exchange of words that begins and ends without rising above the calm. As you move further along, the street begins to connect with another, forming a wider intersection where the flow of movement becomes slightly more complex, though still controlled. People approach from different directions, adjusting their paths subtly, continuing without interruption. There is no hesitation, no collision, only a quiet awareness that allows each movement to fit naturally within the whole. You pass through this space without slowing, your own steps adapting in the same effortless way, maintaining the continuity of your walk. Beyond the intersection, the city opens further, revealing structures that rise with more presence, their forms defined by the now steady light. The surfaces of these buildings carry a muted warmth, reflecting the growing brightness without becoming harsh or overwhelming. Columns appear along the edge of a larger space ahead, their vertical lines creating a sense of order and stability that contrast gently with the more irregular forms of the narrower streets behind you. As you approach, the sounds shift slightly, not louder, but broader, as though the space allows them to travel more freely. Voices are still low, but they carry a little further. Footsteps echo just slightly more, creating a sense of openness that differs from the enclosed quiet of the earlier streets. The transition remains smooth, each change unfolding gradually, maintaining the calm continuity that has defined every moment. You step into this broader space, your pace unchanged, your awareness adjusting naturally to the new environment. Here, more people are present, though still dispersed, each engaged in their own activity, each moving within the same steady rhythm. Some stand in small groups, their conversations quiet and measured, their gestures minimal, their focus contained within the exchange. Others move along the edges, carrying items, adjusting positions, preparing for the day ahead in ways that feel familiar and repeated. The ground beneath you is smoother here, worn by frequent use, its surface reflecting the light with a soft consistency that adds to the overall sense of calm clarity. The air feels slightly warmer, though still balanced, still gentle, creating a stable atmosphere that requires no adjustment. You continue walking across this space, your movement steady, your presence aligned with the quiet flow that surrounds you. At one side of the open area, a figure stands beside a larger arrangement of goods, placing them carefully in rows, adjusting their spacing, then stepping back to observe before making further changes. The process is slow, deliberate, repeated without variation, forming a rhythm that mirrors the countless other small routines unfolding throughout the city. There is no rush to complete the task, no urgency to begin something new. Instead, there is only the steady continuation of what is already underway. You pass near this arrangement, noticing the careful attention given to each detail. The way each item is positioned with intention, as though its placement contributes to a balance that extends beyond the objects themselves. The figure does not look up, does not acknowledge your presence, and there is no need for acknowledgement. The moment remains complete without it. Further across the space, a small group gathers briefly, exchanging words in low tones, their conversation measured and calm. After a short time, they separate, each continuing in a different direction, their movement blending back into the broader flow without disruption. These small interactions appear and dissolve continuously, forming a pattern that feels natural and unforced. You slow slightly, not stopping, but allowing your movement to soften just enough to take in the space one last time. The air feels steady, the light consistent, the sounds balanced and even. There is nothing unfinished here, nothing waiting to become something else. The moment has completed its transition, moving fully from the quiet of pre-dawn into the gentle activity of morning. And within that realization, you understand that what comes next is not a shift in tone, but a deepening of what has already begun. The city will continue to move, to gather, to expand into its day, carrying with it the same calm foundation that has guided every moment so far. You take another step forward, and with it, the scene gently opens into the next part of the day. Morning continues.
Morning continues without interruption, yet as you move forward, you begin to notice a gradual shift in the quality of the air, the light, and the rhythm of movement around you. It is not a sudden change, not a clear boundary, but a slow deepening, as though the day is settling into itself more fully. The softness of early morning begins to give way to a steadier presence, one that carries a quiet warmth, spreading gently through the streets and across the surfaces of stone and wood. The light above is no longer pale and tentative. It has grown fuller, more grounded, resting evenly across rooftops and pathways, revealing the city with a calm clarity that feels stable and complete. Shadows, once soft and barely defined, now take on a slightly firmer shape, though still gentle, still without sharpness. The sky holds a consistent brightness, no longer shifting, no longer transitioning, simply present as a steady expanse that supports everything below. You continue walking, your pace unchanged, though the movement around you has become more continuous. The spaces that earlier held preparation now carry quiet activity. People move with purpose, though not with haste. Their actions remain measured, their gestures controlled, their voices low. The rhythm has not accelerated, it has settled. Along the street, small groups form and dissolve more frequently now. Individuals pause briefly to exchange words, to acknowledge one another, to share simple moments of conversation that feel routine rather than significant. These interactions are not prolonged, nor are they rushed. They exist naturally, then fade, allowing the flow to continue uninterrupted. A man steps out from a doorway carrying a small container, pausing just outside as he looks along the street, then moving forward with steady steps. Another figure passes him, offering a brief nod, their paths crossing without disruption. These quiet acknowledgments repeat throughout the space, subtle signs of familiarity that require no elaboration. The air carries a noticeable warmth now, though it remains balanced, not heavy, not overwhelming. It rests gently against your skin, blending with the lingering coolness that has not yet fully disappeared. This balance creates a sense of comfort that feels natural, requiring no adjustment, no awareness beyond simple presence. As you continue, the scent of food begins to emerge more clearly, not from a single source, but from multiple directions, blending into a soft, continuous presence within the air. It is warm and subtle, suggesting preparation rather than completion, the early stages of meals that are beginning to take form within homes and small spaces along the street. You pass by an open doorway where this preparation is visible. Inside, a figure moves slowly, arranging simple items across a surface, their actions steady and unhurried. The sound of movement, light contact, the shifting of objects, remains soft, contained within the space yet extending outward just enough to be noticed. The connection between inside and outside continues to feel seamless, each space influencing the other without interruption. Further along, the street opens slightly into another shared area, smaller than the earlier gathering space, yet active in a quieter way. Here, individuals sit or stand in relaxed positions, engaged in longer conversations, their posture more settled, their movements minimal. This is not a place of passing, but of pausing, where time seems to stretch gently, allowing moments to linger a little longer than before. You move through this space without stopping, though your awareness adjusts to its slower rhythm. The voices here are slightly more sustained, though still soft, still measured. There is no urgency in their exchange, no pressure to conclude. The conversations unfold naturally, as though they are part of a routine that exists beyond any single moment. As you continue walking, you notice a subtle shift in direction among the people around you. Movement begins to orient towards certain paths, certain spaces, not in a hurried way, but with quiet intention. The flow remains calm, yet it carries a sense of destination, as though the city is gradually aligning itself toward the next phase of the day. Ahead, the faint sound of water becomes noticeable, soft and continuous, blending with the surrounding atmosphere. It is not loud, not dominant, but steady, drawing your awareness forward without demanding it. As you approach, the source becomes clearer, a public fountain, where water flows gently into a shallow basin, its surface rippling slightly with each drop. A few individuals stand nearby, filling small containers, their movements slow and deliberate. Others pause briefly, resting, or exchanging a few quiet words before continuing on. The sound of water adds a new layer to the environment, one that feels grounding, steady, and constant. You pass by the fountain, noticing how its presence seems to anchor the space, offering a point of stillness within the ongoing movement. The people around it do not gather in large numbers, nor do they linger long. Yet each interaction feels complete, self-contained, part of a larger pattern that continues to unfold. The warmth of the day continues to build, though still gently, still without intensity. The light remains even, the air balanced, the sound steady. Nothing feels overwhelming, nothing feels rushed. Instead, everything exists within a quiet continuity that carries forward naturally. As you walk further, the street begins to guide you toward another part of the city, one where the rhythm shifts once again. Not in speed, but in focus. The preparation of food becomes more evident, the movement of people more oriented toward gathering, toward rest, toward the shared pause that comes as the day reaches its midpoint. And as you follow this subtle shift, your pace remains unchanged, your presence steady, moving seamlessly into the next layer of the day, where the calm of morning deepens into the quiet fullness of midday. You continue forward, your steps steady and unbroken, as the warmth of the day becomes more settled, no longer a subtle presence but a gentle constant that rests across the city without pressing upon it. The air feels fuller now, though still light enough to move through easily, carrying with it a blend of quiet sounds and faint scents that have grown more defined as the morning has deepened into midday. The rhythm around you has not changed in speed, but in continuity. What was once preparation has now become routine, and what was once emerging has now fully taken form. The street ahead carries more movement, though it remains measured, each person following a path that feels intentional yet unhurried. A man walks past you carrying a small bundle of food wrapped carefully in cloth, his grip relaxed, his pace even. Another figure crosses from one side of the street to the other, pausing briefly to allow someone else to pass before continuing without hesitation. These small adjustments happen continuously, creating a flow that feels natural, almost effortless, as though the city itself is guiding each movement into place. The scent of food becomes more noticeable now, no longer faint or distant, but present in a way that feels grounded and complete. It drifts from open doorways and small preparation spaces, carried lightly through the air, never overwhelming, but always there, forming a quiet layer beneath everything else. You pass another open entrance where this preparation is clearly visible. Inside, a figure works steadily, arranging simple dishes, adjusting their placement, then stepping back before continuing again. The process is slow and deliberate, without interruption, without urgency, reflecting the same calm continuity that defines every part of the city. Further along, the sound of water returns, this time joined by softer voices and the faint echo of movement within a larger enclosed space. As you approach, the structure becomes clearer, a bathhouse, its entrance open, its interior partially visible. The light shifts slightly as you draw near, reflecting off smooth surfaces and creating a gentle contrast between the brightness outside and the softened glow within. A few individuals stand near the entrance, speaking quietly before stepping inside. Others emerge slowly, their movements relaxed, their posture loose, as though they carry with them a sense of stillness that extends beyond the space they have just left. There is no rush to enter, no urgency to leave. The flow remains steady, balanced, allowing each moment to exist fully before giving way to the next. You continue past the entrance, though the presence of the space lingers, its calm extending outward into the street. The sounds from within, water moving gently, voices echoing softly, blend into the environment, adding another layer to the already rich atmosphere. The connection between spaces remains fluid, each one influencing the other without disrupting the overall balance. As you walk further, the street opens once more into a broader area, though this time the activity feels more settled, less transitional. Small groups are gathered in places that suggest intention rather than chance. Some sit in shaded areas, their posture relaxed, their movements minimal, engaged in quiet conversation that unfolds without urgency. Others stand nearby, leaning slightly against walls or columns, pausing as though allowing time itself to slow within these moments. You move through the space without stopping, though your awareness adjusts to the more grounded rhythm. The voices here are slightly more sustained, though still low, still calm. Laughter appears briefly, soft and contained, fading quickly without disrupting the overall tone. There is a sense of ease here, a quiet acceptance of the moment as it is, without any need for change or progression. A table has been set near the edge of the space, simple and unadorned, with small portions of food arranged carefully across its surface. A few individuals sit around it, their movements slow, deliberate, as they share a meal. There is no haste in their actions, no urgency in their conversation. Each gesture is measured, each exchange calm, forming a scene that feels complete in itself, requiring nothing more than what is already present. You pass by quietly, noticing how the act of eating is not separate from the rhythm of the city, but part of it, integrated seamlessly into the flow. Others nearby carry small portions with them, pausing briefly to eat before continuing on, their movement never fully stopping, only softening for a moment before resuming its steady pace. As you continue walking, the warmth of the day settles more fully across the space, no longer something that is gradually building, but something that has reached a quiet steadiness. The air feels stiller now, not stagnant, but calm, as though it has found its balance. The sounds around you, voices, footsteps, the faint movement of objects, remain present, yet they no longer feel like separate layers. Instead, they merge into a single, continuous atmosphere that carries the city forward without interruption. The light above holds its place firmly, no longer shifting, no longer changing in tone. It rests evenly across every surface, illuminating without drawing attention to itself. Shadows remain soft but defined, stretching gently along the ground, marking the passage of time without urgency. There is no longer a sense of arrival or transition. Midday has fully taken hold. You begin to notice a subtle change, not in the pace of movement, but in its intention. People are no longer preparing or settling into their day. They are within it. Conversations linger slightly longer, gestures become more relaxed, and the spaces where individuals gather feel more established, as though they have reached a point of quiet pause before the next shift begins. There is no signal of this change, no clear moment where it begins. It simply exists, unfolding naturally, just as everything else has. A few figures move toward shaded areas, their steps unhurried, their posture loose. Others remain where they are, seated or standing, continuing their quiet exchanges. The bathhouse you passed earlier now releases more individuals into the street, their movements calm, their presence unforced, as though they carry with them a sense of stillness that blends easily into the surrounding flow. The fountain continues its steady rhythm, the sound of water unchanged, offering a constant point within the ever-moving space. You walk on, your pace steady, your awareness open, observing how nothing feels incomplete. Nothing feels as though it is waiting to happen. The city is not building toward anything in this moment. It is simply existing within it. The routines have settled, the energy has balanced, and the rhythm has become continuous. And within that continuity, a quiet shift begins again. It is subtle at first, almost unnoticeable, a slight change in the way people move, in the direction they begin to take. Some turn away from the open spaces, returning toward narrower streets. Others begin to gather in smaller groups, their conversations deepening slightly, though still calm. The light remains steady, but there is a sense that it will not remain unchanged forever, that it will begin to soften again, just as it once grew. You slow slightly, not stopping, but allowing yourself to take in the fullness of this moment. The air is warm but gentle. The sounds are steady but soft. The movement is continuous but unhurried. Everything feels complete, balanced, and quietly sustained. Midday does not end with a clear boundary. It does not fade all at once. It simply begins to shift. You take another step forward, and with it, the feeling changes just enough to be noticed. Not in the world around you, but in the rhythm beneath it. The city is preparing once again, though not in the same way as before. This preparation is softer, less visible, guiding the day towards something more relaxed, more reflective. The brightness above will begin to ease. The movement will begin to slow. The conversations will stretch a little longer. And the city, still calm, still steady, will begin to move gently toward the afternoon. You continue walking, carried forward by that quiet shift, as midday gives way to the next part of the day. You continue walking, your steps steady and unbroken, as the subtle shift that began at midday settles more fully into the rhythm of the afternoon. It does not arrive with a clear change in light or sound, but with a quiet easing, as though the city itself is allowing its breath to lengthen, its movements to soften just slightly, while still maintaining the steady flow that has carried the day forward. The warmth remains, though it no longer feels like it is building. Instead, it rests gently across the streets and open spaces, stable and even, no longer growing, but simply present. The light above holds its brightness, yet there is a softness beginning to form within it, so gradual that it is felt more than seen. Shadows stretch just a little further, still gentle, still without sharp edges, marking the slow passage of time in a way that feels natural and unforced. Around you, the movement of people continues, though it has shifted in tone. The urgency of tasks has faded, replaced by a quieter sense of continuation. Individuals walk without the subtle focus that marked the earlier hours. Their pace remains steady, but their posture is more relaxed, their attention less fixed on specific tasks and more open to the space around them. You pass a small group gathered near the edge of the street, their conversation lingering longer than those you observed before. Their gestures are minimal yet more expressive, their voices still low but slightly more sustained. There is no need to move quickly, no need to conclude. The moment stretches gently, allowing itself to exist without pressure. As you continue, the street opens once more, revealing a larger path that leads toward a more prominent part of the city. The architecture becomes more pronounced here. Taller structures, wider spaces, columns that rise steadily and create a sense of order and permanence. The ground beneath your feet feels smoother, more worn by use, reflecting the steady movement of countless individuals over time. The sounds begin to shift again, not louder, but broader, carrying further across the open space. Voices overlap slightly more, though still without intensity. Footsteps echo faintly against the stone, creating a soft, continuous rhythm that fills the air without overwhelming it. Ahead, you notice a gradual movement of people in the same direction, not in a crowd, but in a quiet alignment. Individuals and small groups walk toward a shared destination, their pace unhurried, their presence calm. There is no urgency driving them, only a natural pull, as though the afternoon itself is guiding them forward. You follow this flow without thought, your steps aligning with theirs, your presence blending into the gentle movement. As you proceed, the space begins to open further, revealing the outer edges of a large structure ahead. Its form rises steadily, its scale becoming more apparent with each step, though it does not dominate the space. Instead, it exists as a natural extension of the city, something familiar, something expected. The path widens, allowing more space for movement, though it remains calm and controlled. People continue to approach, some alone, others in small groups, their conversations quiet, their attention shifting gradually toward what lies ahead. The atmosphere changes subtly, carrying a sense of anticipation that is not urgent, not intense, but present enough to be felt. As you draw closer, the structure becomes clearer, a place of gathering, of shared experience, where individuals come not out of necessity, but by choice. The sounds within it are faint at first, barely distinguishable from the surrounding environment, yet steady enough to suggest ongoing activity. It is not overwhelming. It remains contained, blending into the calm of the afternoon. You do not rush toward it. You continue at the same steady pace, allowing the space to reveal itself gradually, just as everything else has throughout the day. The entrance is wide, open, allowing people to pass in and out without interruption, without congestion. Those entering do so calmly, those leaving move with the same ease, their presence merging seamlessly into the surrounding streets. Nearby, others choose not to enter at all. They remain in the open spaces, sitting along the edges, standing in small groups, continuing their conversations or simply observing. The afternoon does not demand participation. It allows for presence, for choice, for quiet engagement or gentle distance. You move along the outer edge of the space, your path guiding you past both those who enter and those who remain. The sounds shift slightly as you pass. Faint cheers, distant movement, the rhythm of something unfolding within, but they never rise beyond a level that disrupts the calm. Instead, they add another layer, another dimension to the city's steady pulse. Further along, the street curves away from the structure, leading you into another open area where the atmosphere feels more grounded, more reflective. Here, individuals gather in smaller numbers, their conversations more focused, their posture slightly more attentive. There is a sense of discussion, of exchange, though still quiet, still measured. A man speaks while others listen, their attention steady, their responses brief and calm. There is no tension, no urgency, only the sharing of ideas that unfolds naturally, without pressure. The conversation does not demand agreement, nor does it push toward conclusion. It exists in the same way everything else does, steady, continuous, complete in itself. You pass by without interruption, allowing the moment to remain intact, your presence part of the flow but not a disruption to it. The street continues, guiding you onward, carrying you deeper into the afternoon. The light begins to soften just slightly more now, though still bright, still clear. The warmth remains, though it feels less central, as though it is slowly giving way to something gentler. The air moves lightly through the space, carrying with it the same quiet blend of sound and scent that has followed you throughout the day. And as you continue walking, you realize that the afternoon is not a shift away from the day, but a deepening of it. A quieter, more open space where movement slows just enough to be felt more fully, where moments stretch gently, allowing themselves to exist without urgency. You walk on, steady and calm, moving through a city that continues to unfold around you, not rushing, not pausing, simply continuing. You continue along the curved path, your steps steady and unbroken, as the space around you gradually shifts once more, not in structure, but in tone. The activity you passed near the larger gathering place begins to fade behind you, its distant sounds softening until they blend once again into the broader atmosphere of the city. What remains is a quieter rhythm, one that feels more dispersed, more reflective, as though the energy of the afternoon has reached a point where it no longer seeks expansion, but gentle continuation. The street narrows slightly, guiding you into a more contained space where movement feels slower, though not reduced. People continue along their paths, but their pace carries less intention, less direction. Some walk without any visible task, their attention drifting across the surroundings rather than fixed ahead. Others pause more often, stopping briefly in shaded areas, leaning lightly against walls, or sitting along low edges where the warmth of the stone has softened into something comfortable. The light above begins its gradual transformation, almost imperceptible at first. It remains bright, yet its intensity eases just enough to create a softer presence across the surfaces around you. Shadows lengthen slightly, stretching across the ground with a quiet elegance, marking the passage of time in a way that feels gentle rather than defined. The sky holds its clarity, though its tone shifts subtly, carrying a warmth that feels deeper, more settled. You pass a small open space where a few individuals have gathered, not for any structured purpose, but simply to remain. Their conversation is slow, unhurried, with longer pauses between words. Some sit in stillness, observing without speaking, their presence relaxed, their posture loose. There is no urgency here, no expectation of movement. The moment is allowed to exist fully, without needing to lead into anything else. Further along, a man walks beside you briefly, his pace matching yours without intention. He carries nothing, his hands free, his posture easy. For a short time, you move in quiet alignment, neither acknowledging the other, yet sharing the same steady rhythm. Then, as naturally as it began, his path shifts, and he moves away, disappearing into another street without interruption. The sounds of the city continue, though they feel more spaced now, less layered. Voices appear less frequently, though when they do, they linger slightly longer. Footsteps remain steady, but more isolated, each one distinct within the quieter atmosphere. The distant activity of larger spaces becomes less present, replaced by the softer, more intimate rhythm of individual movement. You notice more people returning toward their homes, though not in any organized way. Some carry small items, others nothing at all, their movement unhurried, their direction calm. Doorways that were open earlier now begin to frame moments of return, figures stepping inside, pausing briefly before disappearing into the dim interior. The connection between street and home remains fluid, though it begins to shift inward, as though the city itself is slowly drawing its activity back into quieter spaces. The warmth in the air softens further, no longer central to the experience, but gently receding into the background. A light breeze passes through the street, subtle and consistent, carrying with it the faintest hint of change. It moves across surfaces, through open spaces, around figures who barely notice it, yet it contributes to the quiet transformation that continues to unfold. You continue walking, your awareness open, noticing how the city no longer feels expansive in the same way it did earlier. Instead, it feels grounded, settled, as though it has reached a point of quiet balance where nothing more needs to be added. The afternoon has stretched fully, offering space for movement, for gathering, for reflection, and now it begins to ease gently toward its close. Ahead, the light shifts again, not dramatically, but enough to be felt. The brightness softens further, the tones becoming warmer, more muted, casting the street in a gentle glow that feels calm and complete. The shadows now extend with greater presence, though still soft, still without harsh edges, creating a sense of depth that enhances the quiet atmosphere rather than disrupting it. You slow slightly, not stopping, but allowing your pace to soften just enough to take in the moment. The sounds, the light, the movement, all of it feels balanced, settled, without tension or expectation. There is no urgency left in the day. What remains is a quiet continuity that carries everything forward without effort. A distant voice calls out, softer now, less defined, followed by a response that fades quickly into the air. The exchange feels less like communication and more like a gentle acknowledgement of presence. A reminder that the city, though quieter, remains alive, connected, continuous. You take another step forward, and with it you sense the shift more clearly now. It is not the end of the day, but the beginning of its gentle descent. The afternoon does not close. It loosens, it softens, it releases its hold on activity and allows space for something calmer, something more inward. People continue to move, though more slowly. Conversations become quieter, more contained. The open spaces you passed earlier begin to empty, not abruptly, but gradually, as though each individual is drawn elsewhere without needing to be guided. The light continues to warm, settling into a tone that feels softer, more reflective. The sky above begins to hint at change, though still distant, still unfolding at its own steady pace. You continue walking, your steps steady, your presence calm, moving through a city that is no longer expanding, but gently returning to itself. And within that quiet return, the afternoon finds its natural close. Not with an ending, but with a soft transition. You move forward, carried by that shift, as the warmth of the day begins to fade into something gentler, as the movement slows just enough to be felt, and as the city prepares, once again, to change. The afternoon passes quietly, and evening begins. The shift into evening does not arrive all at once. It begins softly, almost without notice, as the light that once rested fully across the city begins to ease, losing just enough of its strength to feel different. The warmth of the day no longer presses outward. Instead, it settles, becoming gentler, more contained, as though the city itself is beginning to exhale. You continue walking, your pace steady, your presence unchanged, yet everything around you begins to soften. The sky above holds a warmer tone now, the brightness fading into a quieter glow. Shadows stretch longer across the stone streets, no longer subtle, but still soft, still calm, guiding the eye without drawing attention. The buildings reflect this shift, their surfaces carrying a deeper warmth that feels more intimate, more grounded. People move differently now, not faster, not slower, but with less intention. The purpose that carried the earlier hours has eased. Movements feel lighter, more relaxed, as though each step is taken without the need to reach anywhere in particular. You pass a familiar street, one that earlier held steady movement, now beginning to thin. A few figures walk quietly, their paths leading back toward their homes. Some carry small items, others nothing at all. Their posture is looser, their attention less fixed ahead. Doorways that once opened outward now begin to draw people inward. A man pauses just outside his home, glancing briefly down the street before stepping inside. The door remains open for a moment, allowing the warm glow within to spill outward, before closing gently behind him. The sound is soft, barely noticeable, yet it marks a quiet transition. You continue forward, noticing more of these moments repeating along your path. Return, pause, entry. The city does not empty. It shifts. Further ahead, the scent of food returns, richer now, more complete. What earlier was preparation has become something finished, something ready to be shared. It drifts from open spaces and inner courtyards, carried lightly through the air, blending with the soft. You pass an open courtyard where a small group has gathered around a low table. The meal is simple. Bread rests within reach, small dishes arranged carefully, cups filled with wine that reflects the fading light. No one rushes to begin, and no one rushes to finish. Hands move slowly, passing items from one to another, each gesture calm, unforced. Conversation flows quietly, not constant, not silent, balanced. A voice speaks, then pauses. Another responds not immediately, but when the moment feels right. There is no urgency in their exchange, no need to fill the space. The silence between words feels as complete as the words themselves. You do not stop. You pass by, allowing the moment to remain whole, untouched by your presence. As you continue, the streets grow quieter, though not empty. Movement remains, but it is softer now, more dispersed. The sounds that once filled the space have begun to fade, leaving behind a gentler atmosphere where each sound stands more clearly on its own. Footsteps, a quiet voice, the faint movement of objects within a home, each one distinct, yet never disruptive. You turn into another street, narrower, more enclosed. The light here is softer still, filtered between buildings that now hold the last warmth of the day. Shadows rest more deeply along the edges, though they remain calm, never harsh. A figure sits just inside a doorway, preparing the final elements of a meal. Their movements are slow, unhurried, as though time itself has lengthened. Nearby, another home reveals a similar scene. Individuals gathered, seated, engaged in quiet conversation. No two moments are identical, yet all share the same tone, the same steady calm. Further along, you notice a small group walking together, their voices low, their pace relaxed. They do not move toward anything urgent. They simply walk, sharing the same space, the same time. For a moment, your path aligns with theirs. Then, as before, it gently separates. No acknowledgement is needed. The connection exists, then fades. The sky above continues its slow transformation. The warm tones deepen, the brightness easing further, though not yet gone. The city is still visible, still clear, but the quality of light has changed enough to shift the entire atmosphere. Everything feels quieter, closer, more contained. You continue walking, your steps steady, your awareness open, moving through a city that is no longer expanding, no longer building, but gently settling into itself. The day has not ended, but it has softened, and within that softness, something else begins to take shape. Crescent moon evening transition toward night. You slow slightly, not stopping, but allowing the moment to settle around you. The sounds are fewer now, the movement lighter, the air cooler. A faint glow begins to appear within homes, subtle at first, then more visible as you pass. Small points of light that replace the fading sun. The city is not growing quiet. It is becoming still, not empty, not silent, but calm in a deeper way. You take another step forward, and with it, the evening continues, moving gently toward night. You continue walking, your steps steady, as the last natural light begins to soften even further, no longer resting across the city in full, but withdrawing gently, leaving behind a warmth that lingers only in memory. The sky above deepens into richer tones, its brightness fading without resistance, without any sudden change, only a gradual release. The streets grow quieter, not empty, but softened. The movement that once filled the day now feels lighter, more spaced, as though each person carries their own quiet moment within them. Those who remain outside walk with slower steps, their paths leading them gently toward places of rest. You pass another open courtyard, and this time the gathering within feels more settled, more complete. The meal has begun. Figures sit around a low table, their posture relaxed, their movements slow and deliberate. Bread is broken by hand, not hurried, not precise, simply shared. A cup is lifted, then passed. The surface of the table holds simple dishes, olives, grains, small portions arranged without display, yet placed with quiet care. The light here is different, no longer from the sky, but from within. A small flame flickers beside them, its glow soft and steady, casting gentle shadows that move slowly across their faces and the surrounding walls. The fire does not dominate the space. It rests within it, adding warmth without brightness, shaping the moment rather than defining it. Conversation continues, but it has changed. It is slower now, deeper. Voices are softer, carried only a short distance before fading. Words are chosen without effort, spoken without urgency. There are longer pauses between them, and within those pauses, nothing feels missing. A man speaks quietly, his tone even, unforced. Another listens, nodding slightly, not interrupting. A third shifts his cup gently, the sound barely audible against the stillness. No one rushes to respond. No one fills the silence. The moment holds itself. You continue walking, leaving the courtyard behind, though the warmth of it lingers with you, blending into the calm of the street. The sounds fade slowly, replaced once again by the soft quiet of evening, settling more deeply across the city. The light continues to change. The sky darkens further, though still holding a trace of warmth along the horizon. The buildings now reflect less of the day and more of the dimness that follows, their surfaces becoming softer, less defined, yet still present. Along the street, small points of light begin to appear. Oil lamps, one by one, not all at once. A doorway glows faintly as a lamp is lit inside. The light spills outward just enough to touch the edge of the street before settling into stillness. Further ahead, another flicker appears, then another, each one steady, each one contained. These lights do not brighten the city. They soften it. They replace the wide openness of day with something closer, more intimate. You pass by a home where a lamp rests near the entrance. Inside, shadows move slowly against the wall as figures continue their quiet evening routines. The sound of conversation is still there, though even softer now, as though it has drawn inward, no longer meant to travel beyond the space that holds it. A child's quiet movement, a gentle shift of objects, the faint clink of a cup, all contained, all calm. Further along, the street narrows, and the darkness deepens slightly, though never completely. The oil lamps provide just enough light to guide your steps. Their glow steady and warm. The ground beneath you feels cooler now, the heat of the day fully released. The air has changed as well. It moves more freely, carrying a softness that feels lighter, quieter, almost still. You pass a small group walking together, their voices barely above a whisper. Their conversation is slow, unhurried, not meant to reach beyond themselves. For a brief moment, your steps align with theirs, your presence part of their quiet movement. Then, as before, your paths separate. Without pause, without need, the city continues to settle. Doors close gently, one after another, not in sequence, not all at once, but gradually, each one marking a small return to stillness. Windows dim as lamps are adjusted or lowered. The spaces that once extended outward now draw inward completely. What remains outside is simple. A few footsteps, a distant voice, the soft flicker of flame. You continue walking, your pace unchanged, though everything around you feels slower, softer, more contained. The city has not stopped. It has quieted, and within that quiet, it feels complete. The sky above deepens further now, the the last trace of light fading into a darker, more even tone. The horizon no longer glows. Instead, it rests, calm and steady, blending into the night that has fully arrived. The oil lamps remain, small, steady, unmoving. Their light no longer competes with the day, but exists comfortably within the darkness, offering just enough to hold the space. You slow slightly, not stopping, but allowing yourself to take in the stillness. There is no urgency left, no direction required. The day has unfolded completely, from the quiet of pre-dawn, through the steady rhythm of morning, into the fullness of midday, and the soft easing of afternoon. Until now, evening has passed, and night has taken its place. The night has fully taken its place. There is no longer any trace of the day's brightness in the sky above. What remains is a deep, even darkness, softened by the presence of small, steady lights that now define the city. These lights do not attempt to replace the sun. They exist quietly within the night, offering just enough to reveal shapes, to guide movement, to hold space without overwhelming it. You continue walking, your steps steady, your presence calm, as the streets settle into a stillness that feels complete. The stone beneath your feet has cooled, releasing the last warmth it held from the day. The air moves gently now, carrying with it a quiet softness that was not present before. It is lighter, calmer, almost still, though not entirely. There is always movement, even in silence, even in rest. Along the street, oil lamps glow from within doorways and windows. Each one is small, contained, its flame steady, its light warm. They appear one by one as you walk, forming a quiet pattern that stretches into the distance. Some are placed just inside an entrance, their glow spilling outward only slightly. Others sit deeper within a home, visible only as a faint presence through an open space. These lights do not compete with one another. They do not create brightness. They simply exist. You pass by a doorway where the interior is clearly visible, the space within illuminated by a single lamp resting on a small surface. The light flickers gently, casting soft shadows that move slowly along the walls. Inside, a figure stands in quiet stillness. Their posture is calm, their movement minimal. Before them, a small arrangement rests against the wall, simple, modest, yet carefully placed. Small objects, familiar in shape and purpose, form a space of quiet focus. This is a place not of display, but of meaning, of connection carried quietly from one day into the next. The figure lifts their hands slowly, not hurried, not precise, but steady. A gesture, small, contained, intentional. No words are spoken loudly. If there are words at all, they remain soft, almost inaudible, carried no further than the space itself. The moment does not seek to be heard. It exists fully within its own boundaries. The flame beside them flickers slightly, then steadies again. Nothing else changes. You continue walking. More homes reveal similar moments, each one unique, yet all sharing the same quiet presence. A family gathered together, standing or seated, their attention turned inward. A single individual pausing before rest. A small offering placed carefully, not as a display, but as a continuation of something older, something steady, something unchanged. The city, though vast, now feels deeply personal. Each space holds its own stillness. Each light marks its own quiet center. The sounds of the night are fewer now, though not absent. A distant footstep echoes softly, then fades. A door closes gently somewhere beyond your view. A quiet voice carries briefly, then disappears into the stillness. These sounds do not interrupt. They belong. They move through the night without breaking it. You turn into a narrower street, where the light grows softer still. The lamps here are fewer. Their glow more spaced, leaving longer stretches of shadow between them. The darkness is not heavy. It is calm, open, allowing the small lights to stand clearly without resistance. A window above opens slightly. Faint movement. A hand reaches out to adjust a lamp. The light shifts for a moment, then settles again. The window closes. Stillness returns. You walk on, your steps quiet, your awareness open. There is no direction you must follow. No destination required. The night does not ask for movement. It allows it. Further along, you pass another home where the interior scene is more visible. A small group stands together, their presence close, their attention shared. The lamp between them casts a soft circle of light, holding them within its warmth. One speaks quietly, another listens. A third lowers their gaze, their posture calm. There is no urgency in their exchange. No need to continue beyond what is already present. The moment is enough. You move past without pause, allowing their stillness to remain undisturbed. The street continues. The lights continue. The quiet deepens. Above, the sky stretches wide and dark, uninterrupted now, holding no color of the day, only the calm presence of night. It does not press down. It opens outward, creating a sense of space that feels endless, yet gentle. The city beneath it rests, not asleep entirely, but settled. You notice how your own steps have softened, not slower, not lighter, but quieter, as though the night itself absorbs sound, holding it briefly before letting it fade. Another doorway reveals a small altar space, its objects arranged with care. A lamp rests nearby, its flame steady, its light warm and contained. A figure kneels or stands in stillness, their presence focused, their movement minimal. This is not a moment of display. It is not performed. It is simply lived. A continuation of something carried across days, across nights, across time itself. The gesture repeats. A hand raised, a pause, a quiet offering. No words needed, no sound required. You continue walking, your presence steady within a city that has fully embraced the night. The movement has not disappeared. It has transformed. Where once there were many, now there are few. Where once there was motion, now there is stillness. Where once there was sound, now there is quiet. The lamps continue to guide your path. Their glow steady, never flickering beyond control, never fading completely. Each one holds its place, marking the presence of life within the stillness. You pass beneath one, the light touching briefly across your path before you move beyond it again. Then another, then another. A rhythm forms. Light, shadow, light, shadow. The air remains soft, carrying nothing that disrupts, nothing that demands attention. You begin to sense the deeper stillness now. Not just the absence of movement, but the presence of rest, completeness. The day has not simply ended. It has resolved. The final sounds fade further into the distance. A last step somewhere unseen. A faint shift of an object. Then nothing more. You continue walking, though your awareness begins to soften. Your attention no longer drawn outward, but inward, carried gently by the quiet that surrounds you. The city no longer unfolds. It rests. The lamps remain, small, steady, unchanging. Their light no longer guides, comforts. You slow slightly, not stopping, but allowing the stillness to settle more deeply. There is nothing left to observe, nothing left to follow. The night holds everything as it is, and within that stillness, you remain, calm, quiet, unmoving within movement. The air softens further. The sounds disappear completely. The light dims gently, not by fading, but by becoming less necessary. You take one final step, then another, each one quieter than the last, until even that becomes still. The city rests, the lights remain, and the night continues, without end. Sleeping face. If this helped, you may sleep through our next one too. It drops this Wednesday. Subscribe if you sleep better when history carries you.